Come along, children. Now we're going to have a little music.
This ain't funny, so don't you dare laugh.
Yo, what is good? What is up, guys? Welcome back to another First Cut Live. This is your one-stop shop news spot for all the movie news and goodies that is coming out of Hollywood. We are here back live on a Tuesday night after a very busy weekend, especially for one Mr. RB3, who was working a something special event this weekend. Got a lot of praise, and he's blessing people with his laugh. RB3 is here in the house. What is up, man?
Was good. Man, we had the Schmoedown Spectacular this weekend. It was good seeing a lot of good folks out there, man. A lot of good folks. So happy to see y'all. I want to shout out Mike and his wife, who I always forget her name, but they always say what's up to me. They're from Orlando. Shout out to Star. Shout out to who else? Shout out to Big Mo. Shout out
Big Mo,
to
D-Train.
Matthew for sure. Yeah, Matthew Farley for sure. Big round of applause for Matthew Farley coming out to LA, seeing us, tapping in with us. Who else? I feel like I'm forgetting a bunch of people, but like there's a lot of people who are like, yo, we mess with y'all, we support y'all. So thank y'all, man. Thank y'all.
Yeah, special shout out to Winston, who said that he keeps up with us. I'm gonna hold him to that, man, because I don't know about that one. No, I'm playing. But obviously, special shout out to Winston and everyone else who was there competing and just a part of the competition itself inside the Schmoedown universe. I got to hang out with the Damons this weekend. That was cool. Shout out to the Damons, Star Wars Explained, straight out of Atlanta, ATL. They were there repping. Yep. Who else, man? How was the weekend for you, bro? Obviously, we can talk a little bit about Saturday, but just overall, how was the weekend, bro?
Well, I definitely had.
Oh, I caught that SZA, bro. I caught it.
I am not listening to no new SZA music. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you are.
Not in the state that I'm in.
Caught red-handed, bro.
Not in the state that I'm in. I do gotta say, did go to a Baby Keem concert on Thursday. That was really fun. We talked about that a little bit in real life, but it was a good concert. I do gotta say, the seats that we got were a little bit trash. If you go to the Fonda Theater, don't get the upstairs section. Make sure you get the ground floor.
Can't move, bro.
Yeah,
what's the point of a concert if you can't move, right?
Yeah, but the people, like a couple of our friends had the floor seats and they were moshing, and that seemed like they were having fun. But then we also Friday got kind of jacked, and I hate talking about this on camera because it's like revealing some like insecurities about like my life or whatever. But I was going to a comedy show for a good friend who's a host at Network, Roxy Hay. She's also an amazing host for like All Deaf and like all these great things. Long story short, she had a comedy show in celebration of her birthday. I had parked in the CVS parking lot in West Hollywood and left my car there after the CVS closed. I thought the CVS closed at 11. They closed at 10. I walk up at 10:02. My car is locked in this garage. I freak out. I was supposed to go to, mad things. Mad things were happening on Friday night and just didn't work out. And it really set up the weekend in a bad spot. I'm not going to lie. It really set up the weekend in a bad spot. But quickly redeemed by Schmoedown Spectacular, the after things that we did with that at Barney's Beanery, and shout out to my boy Miles. It was his birthday as well, so shout out to that. Only thing that I did miss out on, I missed out on Alex Marzonia's show. Alex and David B. Music and
same,
and Ben Bateman's show. There's a lot of people, I guess, but I totally missed that. I didn't even know what was happening until like the day before, so that was my bad. That was my bad personally. That was my bad. But I heard it was
that's the one thing that I also missed out this weekend, and I feel so bad for it, especially because I'm sure it was a great turnout, and I'm sure it was a great crowd. I haven't been to a music show in years, so that's also like a really like big urge of mine to like come back to it, especially now that I'm going back to movies all the time and I'm going to other events. Obviously, we just came back from one. So now that the world's kind of getting back to event mode, cons, I mean, there was LA Comic-Con this weekend. People are starting to do more events now, and I feel like concerts is like the last on that list. And I feel like that's one that I definitely want to do. I would love to have gone to that concert. So shout out to Alex. Alex is kind of famous now, bro. You feeling that? You feel that? I kind of feel that.
Alex Marzonia?
Yeah, bro. He was getting a lot of support on Saturday. Everyone was talking about how they were going to turn out to his event, and I think he had a huge turnout. So.
Oh yeah, look good.
I mean,
in the thing, yeah, definitely
the
good.
instas, yeah,
yeah.
in the stories. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got Jake in the chat too. It was great talking to Jake in real life from a certain point of view.
Yeah,
him, Jill, Brian, and Molly. Shout out to them from a certain point of view from the Schmodown universe.
Yeah.
It was fun hanging out with them, and obviously I hanged out with them just a little bit, but just that little bit was a lot of fun. Hanging out with the Damons, as I said before, was cool too. But Jake is the one guy I know who watches this reality TV show that I watch, that no one else watches except for me and Jake. At least that I know of, because reality TV is not really people's cup of tea.
Well, give us the tea. Give us the tea.
It's called MTV's The Challenge, bro. The Challenge.
What?
It's called The Challenge. It's the sickest reality TV show there is. It's super messy. It's basically Survivor, but messier, is what it is. And I love it. And he loves it too. So shout out to him. MK Songbird is in the chat. Matt Movies, Richard Lemon is in the chat. Shout out to all 5 of y'all. Literally 5 of y'all in the chat.
Yeah, make sure y'all hit that like button. I mean, I see a good amount of likes here, but again, I always know that 10 of these likes are my burners. So there's only 5 of y'all that like this so far. There's 11 of y'all watching. So all 6 of y'all that haven't watched yet, hit that like button. Also, I realized, shout out to Sabrina. She's very busy. She has a very new career that's doing great and amazing things. And obviously, as somebody who struggled himself with going to a full, transition to a full-time job, I totally know like how tough it is with all that. So with all that being said, I realized we didn't tweet the link out. We didn't really know. We didn't let people know what was going on.
I did. I did it on my personal account, so that's my bad.
You didn't even tag me.
I didn't tag you?
No,
oh,
you
my
didn't
bad.
tag me, man.
See, we suck at this, bro. We just suck at this. We just need Sabrina.
What's going on? Okay,
There's
so
evidence.
Sabrina,
evidence that we can't do without her.
That's why I have Sabrina in the first place. Look at the channel's tanking as soon as she gets a job.
As soon as she's gone.
Yeah.
We lose 20 viewers.
Yeah, no, we're good.
Ain't nobody here, bro.
We done pushed off to Monday to avoid the wangers, and now we use.
Yeah, bro. Look at this. Look what's happening, bro. We lost Meg. Meg is gone.
Oh yeah. Oh, we lost all the female audience for sure. Is there any dudes? Is there any non-dudes in this chat? It's all men in here, huh? It was good, y'all.
We down, bro.
It's good, man. We down bad. Do you think Gina Prince Bythewood was watching us anymore still without Sabrina?
No.
Or
no.
If she is, man, if Gina Prince Bythewood is watching, Swagger's dope, man. Swagger's dope. 8 episodes in. It's really good.
That's right. She's like executive producer for that, right?
She's a consulting producer because her husband, Reggie Rock Bythewood, is the creator, showrunner for it. So
I would love to work with them, man. They're definitely like, honestly, dead ass one of the people I would love to work with, or some of the people I would love to work with for sure.
Definitely.
But yeah, it was fun, man. It was a fun weekend for sure, bro. You and I hanged out for just a tiny bit because you were working and you were, kind of beat and tired. Yeah. But you went out to Barney's for a little bit. I lost you, bro. I lost you in the shuffle, bro. I tried to find you. It was afterwards.
Literally everybody was trying to
I swear, I really did try to find you afterwards because I talked to Dwayne like at 1 a.m, and I was like, "Yo, Dwayne, where's RB3? Have you seen him?" And he's like, "Yo, RB3's gone, bro. He left like 3 hours ago." And I was like, "What?"
Oh yeah, I was long gone by then.
I was like, How did he disappear? I feel like it's been a little bit because I just talked to 2 people. I just thought it was funny.
You be having like long conversations.
I did.
I be having because I literally my objective. Literally, I told you in the car like I'm literally only going to be here for 10 minutes. Like, and then
you did tell me.
And then
to be fair,
but the 10 minutes.
But to me, I'm assuming that 10 minutes means like an hour and a half or something.
Well, it did turn into an hour and a half. It did turn into like an hour and a half.
Except for me, it turned into like 3 hours.
Well, I was gonna say like in an hour and a half, I ran through about 20 people. I was trying to talk to like speed talk. I was like, "Yo, how you doing? Good to catch up, man. Yo, thanks for watching. Take a picture, and then on to the next person." Like,
that's my one regret. I kind of regret not talking to more people because I realized like at Barney's, I think I talked to 3 people total, maybe 4, over the span of a night, over the span of like a couple hours.
Yeah.
Because I hanged out with like 3 people for like a good hour and a half, 2 hours.
But that's what.
And then
Barney's
it was
100 people. Like
it was a lot.
I was like, I'm about to leave and then walk until like I will be walking like in the like towards the bathroom or whatever, and there'll literally be like 10 other people. I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta talk to him. I gotta talk to them.
You have to. Yeah. I was leaving and I ran into Marisol and Adam.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to meet. I never met him in person, so I was like, bro, I can't leave without saying hi to freaking champion.
Right.
So yeah, I definitely feel that vibe for sure, and I still feel like I could have talked to so much more people. I met Sonny from Cat and Sonny, this reaction YouTube channel that I love. They're from Denmark. They're from Copenhagen. They flew out from Copenhagen, man, all the way from Denmark. I got to chat with him. He said he appreciates us too, and it's really cool to meet them, especially because it's a European couple that came all the way out here for the Schmodown, but they also love anime and Attack on Titan and Korra and Avatar and all this kind of animation stuff because they do reaction videos for their channel. So I love talking to them. That was a lot of fun. Or him. I talked to him. I didn't get to talk to her. So that was a really cool thing. I talked to Brendan a little bit. He said he wanted to be on our podcast. I think we've had that in the works for a while. Right. Shout out to Brendan Myers. So it was cool, man. It was definitely a good time. Paul, yeah, I'm gonna shout out to Paul. He's always been a big supporter as well.
Yeah. Dang, I didn't even, man, that's one, I literally didn't even get to say hi to Paul.
I know, Paul.
Yeah, that was
Paul
really
shows
sad.
us love too.
That was really sad. I got to text Paul too. There's a lot of people. I literally just didn't get a chance. Mad people, you remember, mad people.
Who?
No, just mad people. Mad people. I literally went out of my way. I was like, oh, I'm definitely going to see them like this weekend, and didn't happen. But
alrighty, guys, let's get to the news. The first news topic we have today, and the one that RP3 chose to be the main topic, is we're getting a sequel for Shang-Chi, which is Dustin Daniel Creighton's movie that came out this year.
So what do you want to be the main topic? We can change the main topic.
You know what I want to be the main topic, bro. You don't even gotta
ask.
No. You know what it is, bro. It's all yeah.
Okay.
You know what it is, bro. Netflix Marvel is back, bro.
Yeah, I guess we could make that the title.
But let's start with Shang-Chi 2 getting a sequel after making quite a bit of money over this year, pretty much overall, internationally, and in total. To be honest, man, I mean, we talked about it last week, but if you think about it, all three MCU films delivered this year. There's no questions about it. And I know a lot of people in the box office world on the YouTube side and on the article side, whether it comes to Variety or Deadline, might negate that. They might be like, oh, it's not as good as other MCU films. But dude, you cannot compare these two or these three movies to other MCU films, considering the pandemic and considering the restrictions that are all across the country. On just a level itself based off movies and how many people watch movies this year versus how many people watched Marvel movies this year, all three Marvel movies delivered box office wise, including Shang-Chi, Black Widow, and Eternals. So how you feeling, man, about this sequel? Do you feel like there's enough material to attack for a sequel?
Well, I mean, I definitely think there's enough material to attack for a sequel. To me, this is easily the best of the MCU Phase 4, movies that we've seen so far. And that's no slight towards Black Widow or Eternals. They're both, good. But I think from the perspective of the storytelling, from the origin story, like they said, Marvel said no more origin stories, but this was a great origin story. This was a legitimately great origin story. So I loved it. I thought it was all around just, I think, bringing Dustin Daniel Creighton back, it just shows that Marvel's in the business of keeping the directors and writers like in the game. Obviously they had Ryan Coogler return for Black Panther 2, and they have James Gunn do the whole Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy. But it's good to see, and of course Russo brothers they work with repeatedly too. But it's good to see them continue in that relationship. Like I'm glad it wasn't just like they're gonna replace him for the next movie or something like that. It kind of makes me wonder like. What will happen for like other like MCU directors going forward? But that being said, though, I really get excited about this. I really hope that they make Iron Fist, my boy, Danny Frost, Danny Nost, is that his name? I don't know. Make him the ultimate antagonist to this. We're gonna be seeing that return to the MCU soon too. So we'll talk about that in a second, I guess.
Yeah, I'm excited for it, man. I saw the behind the scenes. Did you see the behind the scenes, the assembled of Shang-Chi?
I haven't seen that one yet. No.
Okay. Yeah, it's really interesting, man. Because obviously,
I think I did. Yeah.
It's on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Most Marvel movies, if not all of them nowadays, are shot in Atlanta because they have their own studios out there. But they shot this one in Australia, which was kind of a different change of pace. For the most part, they shot it in Australia. And it was a kind of a cool thing to see all the sets they build and all the effort they put into making this movie. Definitely a lot of effort put into it.
Yeah.
They pretty much killed themselves to make it, man. It was kind of wild.
Yeah,
Huge effort.
It was a huge effort. I definitely do. You're telling me it's shot in Australia. You know, that means they probably had to add a bunch of digital clouds. I really wish like Marvel movies would stop doing that. I know like it's supposed to like look beautiful and it's supposed to give like Ta Lo this like mystic look, but people criticize like the gray look, the gray aesthetic. That all literally comes from the digital clouds. And if they just made a skyline that was it isn't nitpicky stuff, but if they made like a background, a skyline that's like purely blue or purely like a color, it wouldn't seem like so drab and dark like all the time. So
did you see do you know who Thomas Flight is on YouTube? He makes like video essays and stuff. He just did one about Dune and how they do the merging of the visual effects.
Oh, I did see that.
You did see that. Yeah, it's a pretty popular video. It was like 1.5 mil when I saw it, which I was kind of mad about. Not playing with.
I'm like, dang, we could have did that.
I was like, yo, we could have done that. I know about this stuff too. Yeah. No, I'm just playing. But I really did feel like that's kind of a lot of it too, is that I really do feel like the fusion between practical and the digital screens are starting to become more and more noticeable. And I love the lighting aspect of it. I feel like lighting is such a big part of visual effects, and it's really noticeable in certain films. So I totally get what you're saying for sure.
Yeah.
Where it could always be better, but obviously you could still see the money put into it for Shang-Chi. What kind of story you were kind of teasing for a sequel for Shang-Chi, man?
Man, I would just love to see. Hold up, man. Let me see if I can find like some good music for this. I haven't done this in a minute, y'all. So let me see. I wish I had like. That's why I need to get back on. Man, we need to get like some new sound effects in here. It is all like old SCN stuff, but I would love to see. Imagine in a world, Shang-Chi enters into another one of his. His sister's gonna be taking over the 10 Rings. So it's probably gonna be a whole new tournament that's gonna be set up for like the world's most despicable fighters, whatever type stuff. Who else better to, who else can stand up against the fight of cultural appropriation, the fight of the white man taking over the Asian martial arts? There's no man other than Shang-Chi can do it. And he's going to be the hero who's going to stand face against the OG, not the OG, because there's mad cultural appropriators in Marvel before this, but the number one, the numero uno, the champion of the cultural appropriation, in the left corner, weighing about 125 pounds, with blonde white hair and blue eyes, coming straight from New York in 2 episodes of a TV show that I never cared to watch.
Let's go. Let's go.
That's right. We got Danny Nost up to fight against our boy Danny Rand. I'm thinking, is Danny Nost? That's the dude from Karate Kid, huh? Is that it? Same character, really. So
talk about Mr. Iron Fist, bro.
We're talking about Iron Fist, and he's gonna
Mr. Finn Jones as Iron Fist and Shang-Chi to make it happen right now. Let's go. Dragon chest tattoo.
Yes.
Rocking the Iron Fist power.
Yes.
That would be dope as hell. I'm so in for it.
He could be the main bad guy, or it could be the opening. It gotta be at least the opening fight. Like, they gotta at least make that happen. Like, and
it's gotta be Finn Jones too. It's gotta be the same guy. It's gotta be the same guy.
Has to be, so people know it's the same thing. And then I think honestly,
Finn Jones.
Hey, look, they listen. The
122 pounds.
122 versus Shang-Chi. A good, our man Shang. He's a good like 210. All muscle. He might be like 180 muscle. You know what I mean? But still ready to sock him up. And he might see the dragon tattoos on Danny Rand and might get like triggered because the dragon had destroyed the Ta Lo stuff, so it might even be like double fist of fury, And maybe they might not team up, but he might become a side character in the same way that the last cultural appropriator in the MCU, Trevor Salary, aka the Mandarin, ended up getting reinvented in the last one.
Yes.
So I definitely see that Daniel Cretton. Come on, man. Get it done, man. We could definitely, this could be a redemption of this character, but also let the world know, like, you know, what's really going on. So,
dude, that would be the dopest / like it would just be pure magic, bro. Pure magic. MCU Netflix is back. We're merging the universes, bring back Finn Jones as Iron Fist, make it happen. You heard it here first on First Cut. I see MK Songbird in chat also mentioning Jessica Henwick. Bring her back too, bro. Oh, yeah. She's coming up in the Matrix movie too. She's one of the leads in the Matrix, so she can throw down.
She's all over that trailer.
I think, and she can fight too, bro. She can fight.
Yeah, they should make her like the main, like a new player in like these sequels. Honestly, like she could be a big like main player in this. Like honestly.
Yeah, I'm so down for this, bro. I would absolutely.
Awkwafina commentates the fight. Yeah. We get
with Snoop Dogg as well.
Yeah. Oh, yo, they get Snoop Dogg commentating these 10 ring fights. He'll do it too. He'll take the money.
He would. Yeah, he would totally do it, bro.
He'll do anything for a bag. I swear.
It's the original Paul brother, Danny Rand.
Oh no, not the original Paul brother.
He's the original Paul brother.
Playing fights.
Yeah, bro.
Fighting like.
Yeah. That's exactly what he is. He's the OG, bro. He's the OG.
With the beard,
Finn Jones. Yeah, with the blonde hair, just like waving in the wind.
Yeah.
Right. I love it. Just taking over people, beating up POCs.
That's exactly taking over their roles. This would be like Bruce Lee finally taken back for against who's the old boy, David Carradine, you know, from back in the old days. There's like that fight coming together, you know, like gotta represent.
That would be amazing. I would absolutely love that. And obviously teasing that, we got confirmation from Mr. President, producer, pretty much king of Marvel himself, Kevin Feige, confirming that Charlie Cox is indeed Daredevil inside the MCU. He didn't necessarily say that he's going to show up in any specific film, but we already kind of know that he's probably going to show up in certain films coming up in the future, considering that they've been teasing all the MCU, not all the MCU, but not all the Netflix Marvel stuff, but definitely the main bad guy, which is Kingpin, showing up in the future Marvel shows. We already got a tease of that a couple weeks back that he might show up for Hawkeye. So it's one of those things, man, where the MCU and Marvel, the MCU and Netflix Marvel are combining together. How are you personally feeling about that decision from Kevin Feige? When this has been like, to be honest, man, it's been like 5 years in the making, right? Like when did Daredevil season 1 come out? Like 2015, 2016?
Yeah, I think it was 2015. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I think, you know, when they first announced it, they said it was supposed to be part of the MCU, right? Like when they first announced the Netflix MCU shows, it was supposed to be.
But then Kevin Feige shot that down, I think. I'm pretty sure he shot it down. Because what was the other guy who was in charge of Marvel Television that he hated? That guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I know for certain they said that when the Disney Plus shows were announced, they did say that everything else is not really canonical. The Disney Plus shows are for sure canonical. That's what they said. Like, you know, so but you know, they never really officially said, you know, the Netflix is not, you know, but it's in part of the timeline. They just said the Disney Plus shows is like the official like kind of thing. So, and that makes sense because those are the ones that Kevin Feige was like personally looking over, and the system that Ike Perlmutter was running. Because you gotta understand, Ike Perlmutter was the original head of Marvel. He was above Kevin Feige, and he made a lot of terrible decisions. He's personally responsible for, you know, Terrence Howard not being part of the Iron Man franchise anymore. The fallout with Joss Whedon and the Avengers franchise. Long story short, Ike Perlmutter, not really a good dude. Kevin Feige ended up leveling up because people understood he was the better producer and the creative over arc of Marvel. So then they ended up making Ike Perlmutter the head of TV. So that's why we saw Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you know, being greenlit at the same time as like the Netflix shows being greenlit. And they were like both, you know, part of the same kind of deal, all ran by our boy Ike. Long story short, you know, that's also why they had like much considerably like smaller budgets than like a lot of the other shows. I mean, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had a bigger budget, I think. But if you watch like, especially Daredevil season 1, Luke Cage, I mean, all of Luke Cage and Jessica Jones, much lower budgets than you'll probably see in like any kind of TV show that Disney or Marvel ever touched today. But that's all because Ike Perlmutter was literally like the tightest dude financially in the entire world. I mean, there's reports of people going to press junkets that Marvel used to run back in the day, and there literally wouldn't be soda for the journalists who were sitting there for like 7 hours. Like no soda, no cans, no snacks, nothing, you know? So that's the kind of stringent dude that Ike Perlmutter was and is. So that's why those shows look so crappy. And that's why, you know, I think Kevin Feige's been hesitant to incorporate them. Also, there's been mad continuity errors too. Like they keep referring to the incident 2012. If you watch those shows, the continuity just doesn't match up. And mad actors are also playing multiple parts in the Netflix thing. So I don't know if that really matters to a lot of people, but you know, that's just, you know, they've been hesitant to incorporate it, but now it's finally here. Long story short.
Yeah, but I feel like, bro, one of the main things that connected us way back in the day, like if you remember, like back in your intern days, we were on board with the Netflix Marvel shows. At least that's what I remember from you. I don't know, what were you? I correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought we were like vibing with it, right? I thought we were huge fans of it. At least I was.
I like the first 2 seasons of Daredevil. I definitely love those. Luke Cage first season. I really liked. Jessica Jones season 1. I definitely
season
liked.
1. Yeah.
I tell you, Iron Fist was really bad for me, man. Like I watched about 2 episodes of that, couldn't make it past. And then we saw Defenders, and I remember when we saw Defenders we saw the first episode of Defenders at the Comic-Con. I ain't gonna lie, when they first popped up, we're like, we're gonna show the whole episode. I'm like, yo, this hype, like and like the episode ended, I was like, this is cool, but maybe I just gotta see the rest, you know, like maybe I just gotta see the rest. And ultimately, when Defenders came out, to me personally, it was one of the most trash things like I have seen in like a minute, you know. So that to me just killed like all the momentum. I didn't watch Daredevil season 3. I didn't watch Luke Cage season 2. I didn't watch anything after that point. So
really,
that's literally like the follow-up.
I thought you did see. Oh man, that's a bummer. You missed out.
Yeah,
that's definitely.
Missed out on all that, yeah.
You missed out some good ones, man. Daredevil season 3 is great.
Punisher, I literally
Punisher
didn't watch
season
Punisher.
1.
Yeah, all
Punisher's great.
Literally after
Punisher's
that,
great.
I was like, I'm out. I'm peace.
Punisher's great. Daredevil, I think 1 through 3 is great, to be honest. I definitely think season 1 of Jessica Jones is superior. Really, really freaking good. And then what was the other one? Luke Cage. Punisher had 2 seasons, yeah. And then Luke Cage, Jessica Jones. What else am I missing? Oh, Iron Fist season 1 and 2. Yeah, man. I don't know. For the most part, I was on board with pretty much all the major shows. Obviously, some of them were more missed and hit. But for the most part, they were, you know, shooting pretty good from the field. You know, maybe 60% from the field or something. That's an NBA reference. My bad, y'all. But, you know, they were shooting pretty well. And I feel like now that they're brought back on board, part of me feels like, yes, this is awesome because I'm a fan of this. Part of me feels like, damn, like they hitting y'all when y'all in your 50s. Like we're going to have like 50-year-old Charlie Cox in like Spider-Man 6. No, but I'm saying like in like Spider-Man 6 or something. When it was like 10 years from now or something.
Well, you can probably they're gonna start putting them in these movies sooner than 10 years. Like
I don't know.
I think Daredevil.
Man.
I think they wouldn't have said. I think he specifically said Charlie Cox too. Kevin Feige did. I think he wouldn't have specifically said Charlie Cox if he wasn't like showing up like very, very soon. And maybe not. That's like, true, but suited up very, very soon. Maybe not like suited up very, very soon. But I think he wouldn't just throw him in the movie if he's not like gonna be in the suit within like the next like 5 years or something. You know.
I also feel, part of me feels, especially watching Hawkeye, how is this going to work considering, again, we're, at least people in the chat are big fans of Punisher, big fans of Daredevil, 2 characters that are known for being, you know, pretty brutal. How is that going to fit into a Disney, kind of a Disney Channel-ish show? I mean, we agreed that Hawkeye is very Disney Channel-ish, you know, like ages, you know, 10 through 12 or something. 10 to 14.
Yeah.
How is that going to fit into this universe?
I personally don't think it's that difficult. Like I when you really go back and watch like those Netflix Marvel shows, like there's not that much cursing. There's not that much. They're just a little bit more like realistic, and they're a lot like more grittier. And you know, part of that is because they had like smaller budgets. You know, didn't have like the same kind of stuff behind them, but I think like they definitely, I think if they scale down on the violence like 1% or like 2% and the language like 5%, I think it's like.
But Hawkeye though, have you seen Hawkeye?
I mean, Hawkeye is a cartoon
with like the Christmas music in the background.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I mean, yeah.
Like,
I hate that. But I ain't gonna lie. Episode 3 was all right.
It was.
That was the first time I'm like, all right, this is a decent show.
But it's definitely not on the same tonal level as a Netflix Marvel show. At least, I mean, Jessica Jones season 1 was brutal. Pitch black, dark. Yeah. It was dark.
The season 1s of these shows were interesting, especially I think Daredevil season 1 is the closest one that like borders on the R-rated, because there even was like some side titty, like they were really going for something in like Daredevil season 1. So I like that one. They might have to like tread a little carefully with that. I think Luke Cage is safe zone because Black Panther was a little bit like pushing the edge and those same kind of ways that Luke Cage was. But I think Jessica Jones too, definitely like the exploration of trauma. But at the same time though, Black Widow was a little bit of a mature film than I would have given it credit for initially. When I saw Black Widow, there's some themes of sexual assault, of reproductive control and all these kind of things that were not, I wouldn't have personally expected to see in a Marvel movie. So I think Disney is willing to take those pushes and those edges just a little bit more, Were you on mute?
I know, my bad. I was literally talking to myself. Yeah, I really do feel like that's I don't know. That's just a question that I have, considering that they're introducing this inside Hawkeye, which I consider to be the most kiddie of the Marvel shows so far. Not necessarily saying the worst of the Marvel shows, even though it might be once the season is done, but we don't know yet. But it's definitely the most aged down of the Marvel shows. And considering that they're introducing one of the most aged up villains with Kingpin, I really do feel like that might be an interesting juxtaposition, to say the least. Really?
Not really, no.
This is the same guy? Didn't he kill someone with a car door?
Yes, he is a R-rated character.
That's what I'm saying.
But I think them putting him into a show as kid-friendly as Hawkeye is going to segue him to be perfectly into the Spider-Man franchise, into the little kid-friendly vibe that they're like going for there, So I think that's their plan. Now I do say like that is a big difference. Like he did smash somebody's head in. Like what was it? Was that Punisher? Was it Punisher when he broke Punisher had broke Kingpin out of prison? That was like a really graphic, bloody scene. Like there's some dark stuff with that character for sure. But I do think like using Hawkeye as a segue to him as Kingpin being a Spider-Man villain, I think it's kind of smart because he's definitely going to be like a little kid version of that same Kingpin. Perfect for Spider-Man. Perfect for Tom Holland,
Yeah, I'm definitely curious how they're going to change that character. I saw someone in the chat, I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull it up in time, who said that they might be playing different versions of the character. I think it might be John Lee who said it, that they're going to be playing, it's going to be the same actor, but playing different versions of the character. What do you think of that idea of like maybe not having the same extensive continuity?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they really, they probably just won't even explain it. Like they might just be the same person, just wearing different costumes. Like, I think they just won't even explain like that kind of version of it. Like there will be different versions of the same character, but in the same way, I think that Thor, the Thor in Thor 1 and Thor 2 is a very different Thor that's in Thor Ragnarok, it's the same character, same actor. It's just a different version based on, Taika Waititi's interpretation. I think that's what this is going to be. Like, I think it's going to be, the same Daredevil, same like kind of brooding kind of personality, but he might just crack maybe a joke or two in a movie, or maybe, Kingpin might like not smash in somebody's head like in this in Hawkeye. He might just, shoot somebody or something. Like, be the same character, just a little bit softer, a little bit more Disney-fied.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Maybe just not explain it might be the best bet, considering what Marvel can do as far as like convincing people to accept certain things inside their continuity. I really do feel like No Way Home is going to be one of the biggest movies, man, as far as bringing so many universes together. It's definitely very bold in their decision making. But speaking of bringing universes together, RB3, we got a first look trailer inside Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1, which is the sequel to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. What did you think of this trailer, man? And how are you feeling about this upcoming sequel?
It's good, man. It's sweet. It's sweet trailer. It's hype, man. You know, I mean, everybody's always excited about, how can you not be excited about the sequel to the first film? The first film is obviously like one of the greatest Spider-Man movies, one of the greatest superhero movies ever made, and one of the greatest animated movies ever made. There's a reason why it won the Oscar in 2018. So it looks like it's continuing down that same path. When animated trailers for me, like, you're not really gonna do like the best job of selling me on like what it's gonna be, because I'm just gonna think it's some kiddie nonsense or whatever. But this definitely felt like, you know, a lot nicer. And good seeing Spider-Gwen back. I didn't like how she was wearing her shoes on my man's bed like that. You know, it seems like it's set enough to be like a two-parter.
You see that tweet saying like, "Yo, why this girl wearing shoes on the bed?"
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's definitely.
I think someone said a joke about like, "Yo, you bringing in COVID in my room." I was gonna say like, "Yo, you bringing COVID 2099 in on my bed, bro."
Oh nah.
Multi-dimensional COVID over here, bro. I thought that was hysterical. That was a funny tweet.
The only thing that that kind of wonders me a little bit is like, I wonder if they're gonna like milk the multiverse angle like too far. Like, if they're gonna get like too crazy or too wild with like the expectations of raising the stakes and like doing more to try and amp up everything. That's just the one thing I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. But otherwise, like, I'm still excited about it for sure.
Yeah, I really do feel like a lot of it too is a big payoff if you're a big Spider-Verse fan. And I know it's tough, right? Because a lot of people didn't really grow up with those comics or those runs. But again, I was one of those people. I remember I grew up with the Spider-Man 2099 series. I don't know if you even remember that, RB3. That was like 98, 99.
I haven't read that.
But that was one of
the TV show. Yes.
The TV show, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
And I remember loving that. And, you know, Miguel O'Hara being one of my favorite Spider-Man. And 2099 was always been one of my favorite looks and vibes as far as the Spider-Man. I remember even that video game that came out like a while ago. I don't know if you remember that game. The cross-dimensional game. Remember that game? The Spider-Man game?
Webs.
Where you could play as Miguel?
Webs of...
Yeah, something like that. You remember that game?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I've always loved the interdimensional Spider-Man. 2099 has always been one of my favorite Spider-Man. Also, you got Silk, you got Spider-Woman coming out as well. It's really, I don't know, man. Part of me is like, I want to hate the cross-dimensional, you know, overstuffed, too much kind of vibes that are now happening in movies, but there's something about doing it in animated that kind of makes sense to me, and it makes it a little bit more exciting for kids, for potential opportunities in the future of doing spin-offs. I just think it's a better way of doing it than necessarily doing it live action. And there's something about the character of 2099 that I've always loved, and obviously the fact that he's Latino too. So like, we got two Latino Spider-Man in the same movie. I think it's kind of cool as well. So did you see the new Rockstar's breakdown of the Spider-Verse trailer?
I actually didn't know. I didn't know. But I do got to say, I did love
if you see that.
Oh, sorry. What were you going to say?
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I did love the...
No, go ahead.
I do love the shattered dimension visual at the end of the trailer with Miguel when he comes out at the end. I love that visual for the animation style for that. But what were you going to say about new Rockstars? Sorry about that.
No, I was going to say, if you see that, it teases a cool idea of introducing different versions of the character that can kind of lead to more opportunities in the future. Because he talks about an Indian version of Spider-Man and obviously Spider-Woman that's going to be played by Issa Rae. And then eventually Silk is coming out, who's the Korean Spider-Woman as well. And then obviously Miguel O'Hara is the big Spider-Man inside the movie as well. You saw him in the trailer. So that kind of gives you the opportunity, if you're Sony, to say, maybe we can do animated spin-offs of this character, or maybe even a live action spin-off in the future. And I feel like that to me is a little bit more exciting, to be honest, than, no offense, Venom, Morbius, and all these like villains that don't really make sense to be having their own movies. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
I'd rather have a Silk movie than a Morbius movie. Is all I'm saying.
But would you rather have a Silk animated movie than a Morbius live action movie?
I'd rather have a Silk live action movie than a Morbius live action movie.
Okay, but I mean, what it seems like they're going to give us a lot of animated spinoffs. Like before, we're going to see a lot of these characters animated.
I'll take it.
And I mean, I think that's cool too. I mean, I honestly don't know why they're going for Morbius. I don't think Morbius is like the most popular character in the world. Venom I kind of get, but I do think I do think them hopping on the opportunity to, but I don't know. I think them using the opportunities animated films to introduce new characters to audiences. Like I think like Miles Morales really came into the cultural mainstream with the first Into the Spider-Verse film. I think if they continue doing things like that and introducing new kind of flavors, I think people will eventually get tired of the same old Peter Parker and even Eddie Brock to a certain extent. I think they will want something like a Miguel, or they will want something like a Spider-Woman, or they will want something like a Silk. I think when that demand starts happening, we'll see some really cool stuff. I think even going back to some cooler villain stories. Hopefully, like I think they should really revisit that Silver and Black movie that they were thinking about doing. So,
yeah, I just feel like the opportunities don't necessarily have to lie inside certain villains, and you can make, even to be honest, man. And I know a lot of people give crap to animated stuff, but I still feel like an animated series or an animated show of one of these Spider-Man, even if it's Spider-Gwen or Silk or 2099, would be freaking cool. I would love to see another version of maybe a 2099 TV show or a 2099 series, animated series. I think that would be a kind of a cool retro like upgrade for sure. And I feel like also making it animated, but not necessarily, I know this is me being weird, but not necessarily making it aged down. I keep thinking about Arcane, bro, and it kind of keeps blowing my mind. And obviously, a lot of people have seen Arcane. I don't know if you have, but I keep thinking about the perfect dynamics of how you can hit so many age ranges and how you can hit so many age demographics with something like an Arcane, which teases something that feels a little bit PG-13ish slash leaning towards more like younger PG, but at the same time still be able to tell incredibly dark stories, incredibly intense stories, dark writing, political intrigue, political thriller type vibes. It's a really well done series that I feel like you can tap into that kind of animated stuff and still be able to hit enough target audiences and make something to blow up in a different level, and maybe make it about something aged older, like a 2099 that's always been a little bit darker of a comic run or a little bit darker of a character. I don't know. That's just me. I feel like there's so much potential here with animation that Sony can tap into it and not necessarily age it down so much, and maybe age it up just to 4 years or 5 years and make it really cool. Have you seen Arcane, man? I think you told me you haven't, right?
I haven't.
Okay. Yeah. But I just feel like there's potential there.
I think also, I mean, I personally feel like Legend of Korra is pretty like ageless personally. Like
that's a good one too. Legend of Korra type vibes, but make it something like that where it's a little bit more political, a little bit more, aged up a little bit, not too much, obviously.
Yeah.
And you can have some really cool stories in the upcoming Spider-Verse world. And make it still fit inside the Sony animation if you want to. And you don't necessarily have to go live action, even though their live action stuff is working great, right? I mean, look at Venom. Venom is still one of the most successful movies of the year. So what do I know? What do you think part 2 is going to give us, man? Across the Spider-Verse Part 1, Across the Spider-Verse Part 2. You think we're going to get homie who plays Miles? I'm so sorry. The voice actor, what's his name?
Oh, Shameik Moore. You
think he's gonna pop up in the MCU as Miles?
Shameik Moore? Nah, they will never do that. No, they will never.
What?
He's too controversial. They're already like scratching their head.
The little hexagon gate just turns into live action.
Yeah, they're already scratching their head about the Letitia Wright thing, and that's already. I don't know because I forgot what Shameik Moore did, but he did something that.
What did he do?
Let me look.
He's still voicing him.
I mean, yeah, of course they're not going to replace him. They can't replace him. What's his name? No, why I looked up Shamir Moore. That's the dude from Criminal Minds. Anyway, I think Shamik Moore, he said something that got people a little irritated. And I remember I was supposed to interview him for Geeks of Color, same day I was going to do the RZA. I was going to ask him a question about him, about what he said. I can't even remember anymore. I guess it doesn't matter.
Harriet Tubman, something about Harriet Tubman.
He did? He said something about Harriet Tubman? He said Harriet Tubman should have... He said Harriet Tubman should have fought more?
I mean, that is kind of rough. Have you seen the Harriet Tubman Key and Peele sketch?
No.
You haven't seen it?
I think I've seen it, but tell me about it.
It's the Harriet Tubman parkour video where she's like really into parkour. It's so dumb, but I just think it's hysterical. It's just Harriet Tubman doing parkour. And it's just like the whole time that she's helping people escape, she's like doing parkour in the process, and she's like yelling and screaming as she does it. It's played by Jordan Peele, and it's pretty freaking funny. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It's just one of those things where you just nowadays it's wild. It's wild times, bro. I don't know. I'm not gonna speak. I'll probably delete my Twitter like if I ever become an actor.
Shamik Moore says Rosa Parks should have taken a cab instead of the bus. Yo, my God. Oh, shoot. Hey, yo, I ain't gonna lie, man. Some of these...
that's a ridiculous take, but okay.
That's a ridiculous statement. I ain't gonna lie, man. Sometimes you get around some of these black men with free thought, and they'll say some of the most outlandish stuff like in the entire world, bro. Like, I was
your barber.
I'm not gonna call nobody out, but man, I was just chatting with somebody the other day, and they're like, "Yo, man, did you hear about those shootings in Oxford,
Michigan?
In Michigan?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, man, isn't that tragic or something?" He's like, "Yeah, man, don't you know those doggone Democrats? They be hiring those actors." I'm like, whoa. What have you brought into, my guy? Like, no judgment. You know what I mean? But I am judging a little bit. I don't know.
I'll do that for you if you don't want it. Yeah. I'll judge. Yeah, that's rough, man.
Rosa Parks should have taken the bus. Hey, I have nothing against free speech. My man Kanye West is a free speech,
that's true.
Advocate here. So,
sure.
Wait, is this real? Okay, wait. I'm sorry. Can I say one more?
Yeah.
Maybe? Okay, no, this is clearly a joke. Okay, I was gonna say something.
Careful.
I was gonna put something.
Twitter's wild. Yeah. I don't know if you're on Twitter.
I was say
Twitter just makes stuff up.
Yeah, I was gonna say something bad, but oh man, good stuff.
I just feel like I just feel like there's a lot of potential there to eventually introduce a Miles Morales in live action. Eventually, because we know he is already been mentioned by Donald Glover. Donald Glover just kind of faded, right, bro? I mean, he never came back to the MCU as Prowler. Do you think we're going to see him again?
I don't think. I mean, he's busy and doing a lot of stuff, man.
No, I know, but I mean, like inside the MCU.
Oh,
is
for
kind
sure.
of what I meant.
Yeah. I think they got so caught up in like making Spider-Man, daddy, Iron Man's kid or whatever, baby Iron Man. And they just kind of forgot all the amazing characters that they set up in the first one. That's why I like Spider-Man Spider-Man Homecoming. Like, I thought it was both a subversive Spider-Man movie, but also did enough to like make it, it was like, okay, it's Iron Man Jr., but the next one for sure is going to be like his own movie. Like, and that's what I thought The Promise was leading up to be. And it just wasn't. And that's sad.
Yeah, I mean, I have mixed feelings as far as what we're going to get from No Way Home. We're obviously going to get a nostalgia train. And nostalgia trains are cool. And then Tobey Maguire is going to stop the train by spitting on the web. So that's a reference to Spider-Man 2.
Great.
I put a reference to Spider-Man 1. And I feel like no one got it on Twitter. I feel like, I don't know, I just thought it was hysterical what I tweeted, and I got like 4 likes off of that shit. Look at me being salty about tweets, bro. But there's a picture of how Norman Osborn looks inside the new Spider-Man No Way Home. and he just looks wild, like he's wilding out, like the big old bug eyes.
Yeah.
And I was referencing in the scene during the Macy's parade where he says that he wanted to see MJ in a black dress. And I just put like, yo, when she puts on the black dress and he's just like this, like wilding out, like a crazy bug eye face. And I was like, yo, it's a funny reference to like the first movie. And everyone was like, look at Ace tweeting about lust and tweeting about thirsty. And I'm just like, no, it's a funny joke about Spider-Man.
Yeah, you should have put the clip, like you should have replied with the clip or something. But
no one gets it. Dude, they're all too young, bro. They never seen Spider-Man 1.
Well, I mean, yeah, I saw Spider-Man 1 and came running out of there like a little baby when I was
I was gonna say. Yeah, you were like 2 or 1.
Yeah, I was like 4. Thank you very much.
Still,
that movie. Like I retweeted a clip like the other day of the scene when Green Goblin blows up the lab and then it transitions into the cap throwing and the graduation, and there was like the most insane. It's like in the span of like 2 seconds we got like 5 different shots, an explosion, and a quick fade to some hats being thrown. It was like the most insane cut in the entire world. I'm like, yo, those editors were cooking. Sam Raimi was cooking back in 01. I don't know how they let that much creative freedom right back then. And they just let that rock out.
Raimi.
Yeah.
He's the GOAT, bro. Raimi's the GOAT. Did you see Iffy's tweet? Did you see Iffy's tweet last night?
No, what you said?
About Spider-Man. I can't repeat it. But if you see it, it's friggin' funny as hell. It's basically the two. Yeah, if you look it up, I'll explain it real quick. It's the two Spider-Men, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, just going woo woo back and forth to each other. But they're looking at each other, and he just put like a really funny headline to it. But it just feels really funny that both Spider-Man have the same vibes.
When you let your girl eat your for the first time.
Yeah. And if you play it.
All right, I'm gonna retweet. That's a retweet.
Play the audio, bro. Play that audio.
Okay, hold up. Let me pull it up on my phone. Where's my phone at?
Oh, no, you don't have to pull it up there.
Oh, no, I got it right here.
I just feel like.
Oh.
Yeah, that's it right there. Yeah. I just love how they have the same. They have the same like vibes as far as like wooing. Yeah. I just think it's hysterical. But yeah, shout out to all the Spider-Man memes we're gonna get this winter, man. I think Spider-Man memes are gonna take over. I'm trying to start it. Nobody gets it. Everyone thinks I'm being dirty on Maine.
I mean, that's what Twitter's for. Twitter's all for being dirty. Man,
what do I know?
I mean, we know what's going on Twitter though. Speaking of which, there was one other big thing that we were going to talk about. I don't know if we want to.
I don't think there was.
Nah, there wasn't there?
Unless you have some, I think that was it, bro.
Oh well, I mean, do you want to talk about West Side Story real quick, or?
Yeah, I mean, West Side Story is getting a lot of love right now. I'm also reading a couple articles as far as like the best movies that have come out this year. Are you feeling like we're kind of like cold on these movies, bro? Like we talked a little bit about it live in person, I think. But is there really any like crazy cool movie that came out this year that we don't know about? That's like a smaller movie. Like to me, it's still like Dune. Like. What are we missing here? Like what? Licorice Pizza and that's it?
Licorice Pizza is fire. I mean, I definitely.
But is it the best movie of the year? Like,
I mean, is West Side Story the best movie of the year? That's what people keep telling me. I mean, it was funny with this because I've been poo-pooing this movie since the day they announced it. I've been saying, why is Spielberg doing this? It's another sellout move. Like, this movie was made 50, 60 years ago. There's no point in doing it now. That's always kind of been my like carrying assumption, especially with like Ansel Elgort. And I also felt like, why not get somebody like an actual New Yorker like Spike Lee to do it, or or like you had suggested, homie, who did Blind Spotting. He's not from New York. He's from Oakland. But somebody different, somebody new, a new fresh face, a voice. Like, it doesn't gotta be Spielberg. And I've been poo-pooing this movie since the day they announced it. Then I saw on Instagram that John
first
thing I saw was John Roca at the screening. And I thought for sure, because I like Roca because, I used to listen to the Top 10 show all the time. I'm a fan of Roca. And I know he's both passionate about his Latino representation while also being you know, I don't know what he said. He do that face. While also being a fan of like classic cinema, and you know, he's a big, you know, he understands that aspect of it. So I was curious what he thought. And after the show, he came back like raving. He was, or after his showing, he put on social media, he was raving. It's one of the best movies. Spielberg killed it. And I'm like, all right, that's weird. And I see mad tweets about it. And then literally the knife and the dagger was me seeing Spike Lee tweet about it or Instagram about it this morning. He put out like a long post saying how much he loved this movie. And you know, Spike's gonna be honest with his opinion. You know what I mean? He's not gonna, if he likes something, he's gonna tell you.
My cup of tea, bro.
Yeah. So that to me is like, all right, maybe this is something. Like maybe Spielberg woke up and like,
I saw Dan when Dan Murrow liked it, and when he started, I was like, really, Dan?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious to see it, man. It might be, maybe I'm gonna be like blown away. Maybe this will be my version of another La La Land for me, considering how much I love that movie. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe this is the best movie of the year, or maybe it's gonna be that one you told me about, bro. Freaking Tragedy in Macbeth.
That I'm looking forward to, man. That's like, they're playing that in theaters really soon, so I'm gonna be.
Can I be honest, man? The two movies I'm probably gonna see this weekend or this week is probably gonna be Belfast and Come On.
Yeah.
And I'm not excited for either, if I'm being honest, even though they're both getting great reviews.
Man, I think
you see what I'm saying?
I think Come On is gonna be fire though, man.
Is it?
I think you don't like
it's a kid. It's about a kid though. It's about like a child and a dad.
But but it's Joaquin Phoenix, and the director's last movie, 20th Century Woman, is fire.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't see any exciting movie. When I saw Tragedy in Macbeth, I was like, okay, this looks exciting. It looks cool.
After I told you about it, right? Yeah.
I did. Yeah, it was because of you. I'm giving you credit. But I definitely felt like, I was like, man, I feel like that's the only one left that's exciting for me, because the other ones just don't feel that super. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like best movie of the year to me. Yeah. Those two. But maybe they are. I don't know. What do I know?
I mean, I think,
because I'm already seeing the list, and I'm just like,
Well, yeah. I mean, I think I got to check out a few more foreign films. I still haven't seen Tatine or was that? Tatine.
Titan. Yeah.
Still haven't seen that. I still haven't seen The Last Duel. Still haven't seen The Last Duel. I refuse to watch House of Gucci because my ex watched it. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I don't know why I said that. Edit. We're live. Doesn't matter. You can't edit.
I was gonna say there's no way.
Yeah. What else?
I'm definitely gonna see it. I'm gonna see all those movies eventually, but I just don't see any of them being that special, except for maybe a couple. But again, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe, you know, Titan is amazing, and maybe House of Gucci is gonna blow me away.
Look up 9 Days though, man. Look up 9 Days. I did.
I know what 9 Days is. I think it's on Hulu, right?
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
It might be on Hulu.
I need to recheck it out because, well, I was gonna check it out. I had a screening for it. I just didn't make it to that screening in time. So, but yeah, I heard it's really, really amazing. So
yeah. I saw a trailer for it, and it definitely intrigued me, for sure. But I definitely need to see a lot more movies before I make my list. I think we're gonna be late, like last year, bro, when we make our top 10 list. I think we're gonna have to be late because I'm behind.
Yeah. So. Also, Adam Driver was in a musical this year. Did you hear about this?
Is that a net?
Yeah, a net.
Yeah.
I need to check that one out. Somebody at work told me about that. It's from the director of Holy Motors. So
also, there's another musical with Peter Dinklage, Cyrano, that's getting some love too. Cyrano.
Man. People, we really picking up on the musical games.
A lot, bro. In the Heights, Encanto, Tick Tick Boom, Cyrano. There's a ton, bro. There's a ton, and obviously West Side Story. This is the year of musicals for sure. Cyrano. Yeah. Thank you, John Lee. But yeah, man, either way, I'll check out all those movies. We'll make our top 10 list. It'll probably be late, to say the least, but yeah.
I feel like we can't end the show without talking about Succession, man. You know.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say George Smollett.
Oh,
or Jesse Smollett.
I mean, we can laugh at homie for a second. I don't know, like, it's too tragic to come and laugh.
I was like, please don't. Yeah, let's talk about Succession. Yeah, man. I mean, that show be wilding right now, bro. I thought last episode was on a different level for sure. And this level, this episode was definitely on another level too. Man, bro, what a wild show, bro. This show is hitting too much. It's hitting. What'd you think, bro?
I mean, it was just. I mean, it was hitting. I mean, for a lot of the season, I've been kind of like doubtful, and I think honestly, the same thing happened with season 2. Like a lot of the beginning of season 2, I'm like, I don't really know where this is headed. I'm not liking any of these characters. But I think now that we had some, now that we have some clarity as to where things are going, I feel like some characters are finally getting their comeuppance a little bit. I'm like, all right, I'm loving this. Like, particularly Roman. Like, Roman had the hardcore cringiest moment of all time in this episode.
But he got freaking thrown under the bus by his sister, rightfully so, but still, I was like, damn, this is cold. And he's cold as hell too, though. Like the way he speaks to her now, he's always spoken to her in a playful way, like demeaning way. But now it's just like demeaning. And the way she got her revenge this episode, trying to file a case against them. I was like, oh my God, this show is too much, bro. This is a lot. I don't know if I can handle it. Yeah. This is wild.
Right.
With freaking, what's her name? Jerry.
Yeah.
Caught in the middle of it. I was like, my God.
Yeah, it was so funny. I love how like how Logan's. By the way,
some kind of sicko.
Yeah. Are you a sicko? Like that was for one. The sicko line was great. Like he was like, get rid of Jerry. She's like 1 million effing years old. I'm like, yeah. And then Roman's like, Dad, I'm not the most radical feminist, but I don't think we can fire somebody for receiving my dick pic.
Yeah,
it was too good, man. The writing was just too on point.
The writing is next level, bro.
Episode, like
even the scene with Logan and Kendall.
Oh man. Well, I mean, yeah, that's a whole different level.
I mean, Logan is like he's the devil himself, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Yeah. He's straight up like he's reincarnated. Because the way he was like talking to him and the way he was telling him like I got you, bro. Like I'm just gonna keep you here and torture you, and like maybe I'm not gonna give you anything. Was wild. The way he made his son eat the plate like this is some sort of like Shakespearean play or like Game of Thrones or some shit. I'm like, am I watching Game of Thrones, bro?
See, that's why the writing was so brilliant to me, because it made me laugh out loud, and then it had a really, really hard-hitting scene, and then it closes the episode with the funniest storyline I think of all time. Like, but also the Tom and Shiv shit, bro.
Oh yeah. Oh
that was
no,
tough. I didn't like that.
Get out of there, bro. Get out of there.
Yeah.
Run.
Yeah.
Run.
I mean, maybe Tom's really into it though. I mean,
no, I really do feel like I don't know. To me, that was confirmation, and maybe I'm wrong, but maybe that I got confirmation that to me that was like Shiv letting him know that I think she thinks he's into that. Yeah. Like demeaning type stuff. And in reality, he's not, but he's pretending that he is so that he could stay with Shiv. And Shiv really does think that way.
Right.
And she really thinks he's cool with that.
Yeah. She's really a
but he's not cool with it.
Yeah, she's really a demeaning person, like wholeheartedly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and she thinks he's cool with like, oh yeah, I'm better than you, but you know that, right? And it's like, no, what? But he keeps saying, yeah, you're totally better than me. And it's like, what? No, just say no and get out of there. But he doesn't want to, because he's stuck in that. But eventually, we'll see where that leads. The entire episode, man. I mean, I just burn it down, bro. Burn it down. Burn down Waystar. Just burn it to the ground.
Man, they are getting really good. They have some really. There's an account called No Context Succession that takes like quotes from the show and like makes the most hilarious things about it. And there's that one quote from when Tom's talking to Greg, and he's like, the man dying from thirst is suddenly a mineral water critic. I'm like, oh, that is so funny. That is like it's a
great line.
Yeah,
that's a great line.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I feel like that's like me. That's gonna basically embody me.
You're a mineral water critic.
Yeah.
Nah, because you're not thirsty, bro. You're not thirsty. That's not you,
that's
bro.
true.
That's not you. That's how we
true.
gotta gas ourselves up, man. As men, we gotta uplift ourselves because I know women won't. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Sabrina is awesome, and of course, all of our women listeners are awesome, even though they're not in the chat today. Jussie Smollett got framed by Lee Daniels. I don't know about that.
I just appreciate the water, bro. Appreciate the water, bro.
Yeah, water's good.
You know,
man.
keeps me going. You know what I do?
Move like water.
I drink that water.
Bruce Lee said.
Yeah, be water.
Bruce Lee said in the quote, bro. He said.
He said, "Be water."
Well, he also said why. A student had asked him why do we have to fight if we're going to be in peace, and he said, it's better to be a warrior in the garden than to be a gardener in a war. I think that's the mindset we always got to keep up.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? So.
Ooh.
That's what we gotta do.
Yo, bring that katanas out, bro. Bring it out.
Yeah.
Bring them out.
Firing up.
Either way, guys, that's gonna do it for another bizarre episode of First Cut Live. Shout out to Sabrina.
I do want to say, that was Sabrina's music, by the way. I do want to say, shout out to Swagger. Shout out to Will Smith's book. His book is absolutely phenomenal. It was really, really fun. And I'm at chapter 8 of that or 10 of that, and it's like really, really good. And also shout out to his YouTube documentary, Shaping My Life. That's something I watched recently too. And again, shout out Swagger. Oh, shout out Jon Stewart too. Jon Stewart's back on TV, and that show is really, really good.
It's really good. I saw his economy episode. It's wild. It's wild for sure. Either way, guys, make sure you guys go follow Sabrina at Sabrina X Monica and Sabrina on Film. Make sure you follow us at First Cut TMO and me at Squad Leader Ace. RB3, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Director RB3, not being a misogynist. And of course, I apologize if anything I said.
It's all coming back, bro. 20 years from now, this is gonna come back.
It's all gonna come back, man. It's all gonna come back. Even the clips of me. Ranting about James Gunn during our M. Night Shyamalan episode. Yeah. Hey, yo, let's forget about that. Shout out to Isaiah Hudson being the Ricardos. Looking forward to that movie too.
Either way, guys, for the First Cut crew, we're peacing out. Peace.
This ain't funny, so don't you dare laugh. With the 4/5 divide you in half. You getting at me equals a club half. You do the math, take you out the equation. This ain't funny, so don't you dare laugh.
It's Britney, bitch.